Take a breath, no matter where you are. We just want to have a progress or a culture of progress. We just got to keep moving forward. The only person you have to be better than is you of last week, last month, last year. And remember, this is just a glimpse. This is just the foundation. This is you doing the groundwork so you can hit the ground running. Now, I'm going to groundwork to hit the ground running, right? But if you think about it, so far, we started thinking about, hey, I know why I'm doing this. I have a purpose. I have a passion. And then we started thinking through, hey, I know the problems I could solve. I know the goals I could help someone achieve. Today, we're gonna take a few minutes here and dial in who your ideal client is. Who is the perfect person that would say yes? Now, before we get started though, I wanna share something with you. This is about the time where your brain goes, wow, this is amazing. This can be real. I do have an asset. I could do this. I can deliver it this way. This is a growing industry. And all of a sudden you start thinking, but am I capable? Do I have imposter syndrome? Can I really do? Am I too old? Am I too young? Do I not know technology? Just be on the lookout for that, because that's the good sign. That means you're stretching yourself. You're taking uncomfortable action. Welcome it. Look forward to it, because that's how we make a difference. Now, today, we're going to dial in your ideal client. What does that mean? We talked about it in the previous training on what's the problem you solve, what's the goal you can achieve, and how to narrow it down. We're going to do the same thing here. The smaller the niche, the better. Now, we're going to go deeper, of course, in the system, but let's just get started by knowing that when you shrink the niche, when you dial it down, let me give you an example. When I first started and launched my real estate course to teach people how to invest and make money with real estate, I was so freaking overwhelmed. I have to be honest with you. I got in my head. I started thinking, wait a minute, why am I going to teach real estate? I had done about 14 or 15 real estate deals at the time. And I wasn't a multimillionaire. I didn't have 1,000 apartments. I never bought a corporate building. I didn't have a apartment complex. And I got in my head and I started thinking, well, I'm going to do real estate investors. But I'm like, who is the person I can help? And when I started thinking through and narrowing it down, I realized I don't do all those things. I don't do commercial. I don't do multi-door or apartment houses. I don't do strip malls. I'm not making $1 million a month. But I was really good at helping a brand new person get in their first real estate investment, single family home. Whether they wanted to keep it and rent it for cash flow or fix it and flip it. I was really good at that because that's what I had done. So up until that point, until I narrowed it all the way down, I was overwhelmed. I was stressed. I didn't know who my person was. And I didn't feel like I was an expert. In fact, I felt the opposite of an expert. I'm like, why would you listen to me? But at the time, I knew if someone would listen to me about getting in their first home, if they were brand new, I could help them do it. My confidence went through the roof. I'm going to digress here for a second and share another quick little story. When I'm training live or I have people in person and I'm talking about this exact topic, I'll say, think about this. Who would you be the most comfortable around teaching if it was a room of people in front of you? A small, intimate gathering of 20 people and you had to teach them. So where I'm filming in our studio, right next door is our mastermind room where we bring people in and have incredible masterminds. I love it. And if I said to the dean of 25 years ago, hey, Dean, you're going to go in that room and you're going to talk to people who want to be real estate investors. And in that room are people already making $1 million a year, some $1 million a month, some commercial, some residential, some multifamily, and there's some people that are brand new. Go talk to them. You'd have to be pushing me. Somebody would be on my back and I'd be fighting. Like, I can't go talk to them. I don't know how to help the people that are making millions. I would be so overwhelmed. But then I think, if someone said, hey, there's 20 individuals and family members and couples in there that have never done real estate, but they want to diversify their portfolio and they want to get in their first house without getting ripped off, to do it smart, know how to negotiate, know how to get a good deal. I'm like, those people, they're my people. I would run in that room. So as you go through this, as you're part of the system, if you don't feel like you'd want to run in that room and save, share, solve their problems, help them take their dreams to another level, then you're putting the wrong people in the room. So in marketing and strategies you're going to learn in this system, we'll learn how to get the right people. But this is about identifying them, because what happens as we do, we get to reach your people and then you get to know them and you will learn how to teach them even better. But you want to start off with the people that you can't wait to talk to. That means you get to serve them on a higher level because you know their problems better than anybody else. You know their dreams better than anyone else, especially you know the problems because you probably had to solve them at one point in your life. And then you become an expert in a narrow lane, in a narrow niche. You're not a generalist, right? And isn't that why traditional education is failing? Because it's general knowledge. You are teaching specialized knowledge, and the more specialized, the better. And the more specialized, you get to charge more. I mean, if you had a family member that had to have a specific surgery, it was a life-saving surgery, would you want to go to a general practitioner to do the surgery or a specialist who just focused on this one area, this one lane every day and got great at it? Of course, right? You want to go to the specialist. Listen, the world is changing. This industry is at $1 billion a day, climbing to $1 trillion a year because people want your specialized knowledge. So in this 12, 15 minutes today, I want to hammer home the smaller the better, the room you want to talk to. It's not everybody. It's a niche within a niche, right? We talked about a career skill if you're an accountant. Pick the niche within a niche. If you want to help accountants that have been in it for at least 5 years start their own office and their own business, then that's the only person you focus on. If you want to help mompreneurs that have more than 2 kids and they have their own business and they lost themselves, go after just that mom. If you want to help the passionate reporter with baseball cards, find the one thing that you want to share within that realm. And of course, the same with the passionate reporter. Learn and go after that one thing. Now, I'm not talking about so specific that you say, I only want to work with moms that are left-handed, live in Nebraska, and like white wine, not red wine, right? That's an extreme example, but we don't want to make it so small, but we don't want to be so vast. So we're going to find that elegant middle, that ideal client, because once you craft your irresistible offer, once you know the problem you solve and the goals you can achieve, once you know who wants it in this journey, it is so much easier to use social media to find those exact people that are going to be dying for your product. So here's what we do right now. In the worksheet below, I want you to write the problem you solve or the goal that you can help someone achieve, or both, and then start making a list of the people that can benefit from it. Our goal here is to get a good idea of the range of people you want to help and you can serve, and then we're just going to keep narrowing it down. You might think, I want to help people get in better shape. Then you think, no, I want to help women get in better shape. No, I want to help women 35 to 50 get in better shape. No, I want to help women 35 to 50 that have kids and have a job get in shape. Oh, no, I want to do all that, but I want to do it with yoga and meditation. And I want to do that with a certain way of eating. The more you narrow the person that you want to go in that room and talk to, the more your confidence will go up and the more you'll see how you could truly solve problems, create goals for people for a living, and thrive. Now, here's what we're going to do right now. Watch this quick video. Now, I hope you did the work with me here in, I don't know, we're 10 minutes in. But now, watch this quick video on how we could use our AI assistant, Gigi, to take this to a whole nother level. Watch this video, do the work. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Dean. This is Lane, and I want to welcome you to the 3rd step of the 7-step jumpstart, where we're talking about choosing your ideal client. And this is something that Gigi can definitely help us with a hot seat. If you haven't had a hot seat with Gigi yet, all you have to do is click on the red button under the video, and that will open a new conversation with Gigi. We are working on identifying our ideal client, so let's click on that option that she gives us. So Gigi asks us, what is the big value you provide? And we decided in the last lesson that we are an experienced CPA who is going to help other CPAs with leadership and time management strategies. But right now we want to narrow in on our ideal audience. So we're going to go ahead and tell her that we've decided we're going to help CPAs build effective leadership and team management strategies by entering that into the text box at the bottom. And we're going to hit the submit button. Then she asks me, who do you think could best benefit from the big value you provide? And I tell her that I've helped previous employees start their own firms. So I think people who are ready to leave an agency would be a great audience for me. And I'm going to go ahead and submit that. And she asks me if I were in front of a small group of people, who would I be most comfortable working with? And I tell her that I could imagine myself working with newer CPAs who have been in an agency environment for a while. They understand the tax and financial side, but don't know a lot about running a business. So I'm going to tell her that. And then I will go ahead and submit this answer here. And then she's going to ask me another question and asks me to describe myself from a few years ago at the beginning of my journey. And I tell her that I had a good grasp of accounting principles and how to work with clients, but I didn't really know anything about management or running a business or even how to find clients. So I'm going to tell her that and then submit it. And this is where the magic happens. She comes back to me with several different choices for the types of sub-niches that I could work with. She talks about newer CPAs and how I might work with them. She talks about specialized fields within accounting. She talks about possibly working with female CPAs. She's got all sorts of choices here. And one of the cool things is I can ask her now to give me more information about any of these groups. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to give me more information about working with newer CPAs and what that would look like. And all I have to do is type into the box and say, can you give me more information about number 1, newer CPAs? Let's see what she says. Oh, great. She's got lots of great information. She's got great answers that are going to come in so helpful when I start building my actual product. She talks about their characteristics, their challenges, what they need, how they might want to interact with me. This is really terrific. It is such great information to have on hand as I move through the MBS program. So jump into your hot seat with Gigi and see what kind of results you can get. And remember, you can always ask her for more information.
I love watching that. Isn't technology amazing, especially when harnessed right? Remember, Gigi is the best of the internet and AI, and we loaded in everything on how Tony and I think, teach, create, so you get this magical balance. So I hope you went and used Gigi to fine tune and take what you're doing to a whole nother level. Remember, it gets you off the blank page sometimes. Sometimes it polishes what you have. Sometimes it compounds, goes deeper. Sometimes it gives you a whole new idea and go, oh, I never thought about that. So get used to using your AI assistant Gigi, because remember, you don't want to go too narrow where there's nobody in it, and you don't want to be so wide that you're overwhelmed. It's that magic down the middle. And remember, if you get in your head too much, in fact, is what Tony Robbins always says, if you're in your head, you're dead. If you feel that, you feel you're getting stuck, remember, you can always go to the Tony Robbins collection section. And I would suggest you watch the 3 Pillars of Success. It is an incredible training. I remember I was with him when he filmed it just for you guys. I took so many notes, it was insane. Remember, you always have that at your fingertips.